This is David, and I believe the U.S. has a definite moral obligation to allow immigration. Reason why is actually a page out of the Bible, and I'm not looking at this as is there God controlling us and telling us what's right, but a moral lesson from the Bible, the Code of the Stranger. I do understand that was originally set up to help take care of people who are traveling the roads and doing trade and being merchants. But also it became important in helping build civilization in the way a society treated strangers coming into their land. The one city in the whole Bible that gets wiped out, destroyed, and turned into a pile of salt is Sodom and Gomorrah. And really that happens just because they're wicked, but because they violate the code of the stranger. The moral lesson there is we are supposed to treat other people well, take care of them, help them when we can, and there is a moral obligation there that has helped create and define civilization. Should there be quotas and limits? Absolutely. And I don't believe, how would I set those? That's a long conversation, but I do not believe that's supposed to be done by a large bureaucracy. I think a small board that looked at infrastructure of different cities and said, okay, this infrastructure will accept 20,000 people. This infrastructure will be able to take in 50,000 people. And we have, a board that's working full time looking at what we can absorb in different areas and then opening up the quotas and limits to fit those. There are a lot of countries where people are being beaten and killed by their own governments, terrorist organization, gangs, and I do believe we have a moral obligation to let those in. How would I remedy the obstacles in the way of Latinos achieving better education? Really, I can only answer that on how would I make education better in this country. And, this is almost going to sound like a joke, but I think if the government closed all the private schools, which my children did attend, within 4 minutes, the length of my conversation here, all the public schools would be fixed. But assuming that the government is not going to close down private schools, the way any group could achieve better education to help lift them out of poverty would be absolutely small classes, teach kids phonics, have discipline. Kids can be thrown out if kids cannot make it in an educational system where they're learning how to go to college or write papers or learn how to program. Then they get yanked out and they put in vocational school. And if that doesn't work for them, then they can just be set loose to work at McDonald's. But again, the classes themselves, small classes, more teachers, translators in the classes, a curriculum that's good, phonics so that they can learn how to read, and really the same type of curriculums that are given to kids in private schools, which is much more stringent, but would be interesting. And then you don't have a class with 40 kids, which just by nature becomes disruptive. When you have a class with 12 to 15 kids, it works better. And I know everyone's like, okay, let's throw more money at it. It's not just throwing more money at it. It's targeted the way they do in private schools. But at the same time, get rid of the government bureaucracy that protects everybody and says, oh, you have a job for life and we need to protect you. Teachers can be fired, and teachers can be fired in a normal way, just like in a normal business, for not performing. And I think that sets you up for a educational system that could help Latinos or other immigrant societies, especially, again, with having translators in the classes to help those teachers out and the money to do this properly. I think that's it. Thanks.